Welcome to MMA Breakdowns and Bets. On this week's program, we're going to be discussing UFC Fight Night, Dolidze versus Hernandez. And no Santino this week, sorry to say, but I've replaced him with a very special guest. It is Mr. Steal Your Girl himself. No, it's not Roman Dolidze. We have Mike, Narco Cop, joining us today. Let's discuss. No, this is good catching up with you because, so we're talking about, guys, we're going to just roll right into this. We're talking about this guy who runs our Discord, UFC 205. Now, what's really funny with you, Mike, I don't know if you remember this way back in the day, 205 actually created this insane beef between us that we were blocked on each other's Twitters for, a year, I guess. I remember when you first started, I think you had just moved to Arizona. You would do the podcast, but you would put like a black sheet behind you, just like tape up a black sheet, whatever room you were in. And just like that was your backdrop. And I remember 205, something you said pissed him off or something. You called my parlay square or something, and it probably was. And he's like, fuck this guy in his black sheet. And he just went crazy on you, tweeting you, texting you, all this stuff. And now he works for you. Now he does all your Discord, does all of our Discord. But now here we are. So, Mike, welcome to the show. Good to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brandon. Yeah, that story is funny because UFC 205, great dude, man. He does a lot of stuff for me, so I appreciate him. And yeah, at that time I had just moved out here. I was in an apartment. So, I had that little backdrop.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Up until I bought my house now. Obviously I have my own little room for the studio. I guess I call it my studio now, but yeah. Funny story. Yeah. UFC 205. Yeah. Works for me now.
He's a funny guy because, one, guys, don't fuck around with anybody on this podcast because 205 will find you and he knows your exact day-to-day, your whereabouts, your locations. He can find that within 30 seconds. So be careful. Now, we got a cop also. So I actually wanted to ask you about that. So Chicago, do you share much personal stuff or like stories on your podcast, or mostly it's just like, hey, let's get to the bets?
I don't share a lot of stories, but I have a ton of stories, man. Like I just, people don't really ask me. I'm not one of those guys that goes out and kind of shares these stories just because.
We're the complete opposite. If I have a story that happened yesterday, I'm like, guys, check this out.
Yeah, I mean, I had some crazy stories. I've been shot at.
You've been shot at? How many times? Because you were a cop in Chicago.
I've been shot at one time.
Was that one of the scariest moments in your career and your life? Or
you know what's crazy? No, because the adrenaline rush.
That's what I was going to ask.
You're chasing after somebody with a gun. He turns around, he shoots. He obviously didn't hit me, right? But you just kind of continue chasing, and
it's probably not until after where you finally realize.
Yeah, you kind of realize it, but there's been other moments that I would say are probably scarier than that moment.
It's more so the intimidation and kind of the there's no way out type feeling, right? Especially in situations like you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there was a situation, literally, it was a no way out situation for me and my partner.
Are you able to talk about this?
I can.
Yeah, let's hear about this one because I'm curious.
So I'm working on the West Side. It's the 4th of July weekend. Okay, it's extremely busy week.
Well, that's really tough because now you don't know if they're fireworks or gunshots. They can veil under the mask of a.
And then most of the time on the West Side, they're probably gunshots. But so we get called. There was a call of a person with a gun. There's guys out on the street. They have multiple guns. So we happen to pull up there, and we were the first car on scene, which means the first 2 officers on scene. We see a bunch of people in the street. The street is blocked. There's a basketball hoop in the middle of the street.
Of course.
We look over, and there's, 50, 60 dudes on the sidewalk. We get out of the car because they kind of gave us a description of who it was.
Wait, curious. What was the description?
Male black, they gave us the closing description.
So basketball court with 60 guys, male black. All right.
That was the description, but they gave us the actual clothing description, right? We see the dude. We get out. He immediately takes off running. My partner takes off running after him. But then at the same time, he says, hey, there's a gun on the ground. The first thing you're supposed to do is, I go retrieve the gun because obviously that's a weapon that can be used against us.
Mm-hmm.
I take the gun, I put it in my waistband, and my partners continue to chase the guy. Now I have to chase after my partner because just in case something happens.
Yeah.
Well, he chases after him into a dead end. It's between the homes, but it was a dead end. There was nowhere else to go. This guy stops, puts his hands up, right? I'm going there to help him. We put the guy in handcuffs. I look back, and there's like 40 guys, and we're blocked. We can't go anywhere.
Because you're in that alley, that dead end.
We're in the dead end. We can't go anywhere. I look back, and it's only us 2. And at this point, they start throwing stuff at us. But the scary part is you don't know what they could. I mean, they could easily pull up a gun and shoot at us at that point.
Right? 40 guys, and,
Yeah.
and they're going to get away with it because who shot? We don't know.
It's not even that. At that point, it's like you're not even thinking if they get away with it or not. It's like, am I going to live? You know, so at that point, you're calling for backup.
Sorry, I'm saying from their perspective.
Sure.
We're in a crowd of 40 guys. I can do this, and I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those situations where I think at that point, like, you're stuck. You can't go anywhere.
And then how does it finish?
And you're like, what am I going to do now? I can't just pull out my gun and start shooting at these people, right? But I'm going to try to intimidate them as much as I can so they don't come at me or shoot at me. So you pull out your gun. You say, hey, step back. Nobody come forward. You know, you give them warnings, basically.
That must be the scariest gun pull in your history of your life, because you have 40 guys that also probably all have guns, and they have a lot more bullets than you.
I mean, that was the whole call. There was multiple people with guns. We only retrieved one. So
do you think they threw that as a distraction? Like, hey,
no, they do it because they want to take off. When you catch them, they don't have a gun on them.
I see. Okay. So they're kind of, okay. And they can say, hey,
correct.
We didn't have it.
It's not mine.
I got it. How did you get out? You just pulled and eventually everyone?
No, eventually you called backup, like 10. It's called a 10-1. Officer needs help.
How long did it take them to come?
Oh, fast.
So when you guys call, it's fast. When we call,
I'll tell you what. 30 seconds in that situation feels like an eternity.
Oh, every single one. You're probably just shaking. Like,
I mean, you're nervous. I mean, you're definitely nervous. You're like, what am I going to do at this point? Like, you start running these scenarios through your head, but you don't have much time, right?
When you come down, what do you feel after that? Once the situation's settled?
I mean, you definitely feel relief for sure. I mean,
were you shaking? Like,
no, not so much shaking, but like your adrenaline rush, right? You're just like, your heart's pumping. You're thinking, you know, fight or flight, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those things, you know. So
what's crazy? So we have a lot of police presence on this episode. So Kamala's dad is what's his position?
He's a deputy chief.
So he's a deputy chief. He runs the whole thing. We have here, I'm Mexican, so I was like cops and robbers type episode type here. But no, that's man. I went to Chicago one time, so I actually fought with a friend of the program. Well, not of this program, but your program, Jared Braun. We went to Chicago to go fight. Crazy cool experience. I didn't get to see much of the city because we were only there. Like, they flew us in. And as soon as we got off the plane, we had to go way in. They were trying to stack the deck against the Arizona fighters, but it came out on top. Alex Rigo, if you're watching, smashed you to bits. But let's get into this week's episode, man. I'm glad to have you on. Comment where are we starting, man? Main card?
We're going to start at the bottom of the main card. Fight number 1, we have Eryk Anders at plus 415 versus Christian Leroy Duncan at minus 565.
All right, so I'm just going to preface with this one. So you texted me before the pod and you said, hey, I faded your boy. So it took me a while. I'm like, all right, who's my boy on this one? I'm like searching the card. I don't train with anyone. Tino's not going anywhere. He's going to be here. So I was like, all right, narrowed it down to Christian and Eryk. But Eryk's actual nickname is ya boy. So I was like, all right, fading Eryk, I don't care. That's all good with me. But here we are. So what are your thoughts on this fight? How does this one go down?
Yeah, I mean, Christian Leroy Duncan, the thing with him is, like, he's got all the skills in the world, man. Like, good striking, good movement, great footwork, very athletic, long guy. I mean, very good kicks, you name it. Like, the guy has the entire MMA game, but I feel like he lacks killer instinct, man. I mean, I don't know, watching his tape, he's a little bit low volume. He lacks this killer instinct. A lot of times he gets held on the fence. So there's just some things that I really don't like when I watch tape. And one of them, honestly, that sticks out is no killer instinct from this guy ever since he's been in the UFC. Obviously, I think he has one finish in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken.
And that was the Dusko one where it was a knee injury?
Correct. And, it's just one of those things, one of those guys that, he's minus 4 or something.
Wasn't he 650 or 550?
Yeah, minus 565.
Oh, my goodness. Like, can you lay minus 565 on a guy that has no killer instinct? Then I doubt it's going to go to the ground. Like, he's not taking it to the ground. If anybody's going to take it to the ground, it's Eryk Anders.
I didn't get to watch the Pulev fight last week. Did Klein get Pulev down a bunch of times?
4 or 5 times.
Okay, so this is funny. On last week's episode, I picked Pulev. I hit 2-3 knockout on Pulev. Great. Easy read. I didn't even watch the fight. I can imagine Klein probably gassed himself out going for takedowns and is that about how it went?
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay. So one of the things we were talking about on the week before, I picked Pulev and I was pretty confident. Santino looks at me and goes, dude, I said Pulev's takedown defense looked amazing. And he goes, dude, that was against Christian Leroy Duncan. Like, what are we talking about? Now, in hindsight, seeing that Klein got him down 4 times, Christian Leroy Duncan, not a single time. He fights on such thin margins is the issue. The more boxing I've been doing, the less I like Christian Leroy Duncan striking. He's an athletic guy and he's a good puncher. He's not a good striker, I feel. He does too much spins. He doesn't really put stuff together. He doesn't have a lot of process. Everything he does is he just tries to win in this one moment. This combo is going to land better than the other, but not really set things up. He's not pulling ahead, not getting a big lead. He doesn't work 1,000 leg kicks and then start working up top. It's just moment to moment. You have a guy in Eryk who's pretty slow, right? He's not overly dynamic, but he's going to meet him in the middle, and he's got good hands, and he's very tough, and he's got good takedown defense. He's a world champion in jiu-jitsu. Like, maybe Duncan's going to win just on youth and activity, but shit, that number is insane. No,
it's crazy, man.
I guess
here's the only thing that worries me with Eryk. If you watch his recent tape, he's been getting dropped and hurt a lot. I mean, Weidman dropped him last fight.
I'm going to be honest, though. The way that Weidman throws versus the way that Christian Leroy Duncan throws, I think Weidman's got a lot more.
I agree with you.
A lot more.
I agree with you. They're 100%. But also the other thing that worries me, and I listened to one of his interviews, and I think he's pushing like 38, 39 now. It's the last fight of his contract. He talked about.
Okay. In fairness, he's been saying this. Kamu, have you ever talked to Anders?
Yeah, bro.
He's been talking about how rich he is from the investment properties and how he's going to retire for.
And congrats to him. I don't know if you saw, but he just bought his first commercial piece of real estate.
Correct.
Well, there we go. But no, come on.
One more.
All right.
He's opening his own gym in September.
Okay, so let's just address all this stuff so we can kind of clear this on Eryk. One, he's been talking about all that shit for 5 years, 6 years now. The night that I won the $1 million, he was actually supposed to take my bets and bet with, not on his account, guys. He was going to suggest to somebody else to take this. And this was before all the weird shit anyways. And he didn't. And he was, dude, if I would have hit that, I would have been retired tomorrow. I would have been done. Right. So he's been talking about this for 5 years. I really don't worry. At the end of the day, he has been talking about retirement the last 3-4 fights publicly. They still lock him in the cage. He still goes in there to fight. He still, he tries for 2 paychecks every time. I think I don't really question him or worry about him. He knows where he's at.
Yeah. He's a tough guy. Listen,
he's plus 475 for a reason.
He just competed in a jiu-jitsu match like 2 weeks ago, I think.
That actually makes me feel worse. Actually, Christian Leroy Duncan's in the moon now.
Yeah. I mean, I think he washed, it's funny because he fought, I think, Jamie Pickett, right? In the UFC.
Yeah.
And then he fought and he had a match with him in jiu-jitsu just recently. So
crazy. Well, all right. So you got CLD. I like him by decision. CLD.
Yeah, I think it's CLD. Honestly, the youth. He's a little bit longer, a little bit better with the footwork, a lot faster. So yeah.
Are you calling Anders slow? He watches this. And he DMs everybody who talks.
I like you, boy, but I just have to go with CLD here.
All right. Next up.
All right, next we have Miles Johns at plus 250 versus Jean Matsumoto at minus 300.
I like Matsumoto here. I'm never gonna like Johns. I like him in certain spots, but the eyes closed, just winging overhands to the mediocre wrestling, especially against a guy like John Matsumoto, who is sharp. That guy is really sharp. Great leg kicks. He fought our own Casey Tanner. If he's beating Casey Tanner like that, I mean, come on. He's not coming close to, Miles Johns isn't coming close to beating him. I don't need to say a lot here. Could he finish him? I think this is going to probably go to decision. I like Matsumoto by decision in this fight.
Pre-tape, I thought I was going to bet Miles Johns, honestly. I thought, plus 250. He fought competitively with Felipe Lima, who I think is a really good fighter. And after tape, I'm like, he just doesn't throw volume, man. Like
no volume, and it's very predictable.
Very predictable overhand. He's fighting a guy that is faster, way better footwork,
great chin,
great
cardio,
and great I mean, the volume this guy throws.
Even his wrestling, kind of in that last fight, his wrestling was amazing.
Very good. And people are gonna look at that loss against Font and kind of, maybe shit on this guy.
I thought he won the fight personally. It's close.
It was very close, but like Font is a much different guy than Miles Johns. He's thrown a ton of volume, very good boxing.
Also size-wise too. Font is his size. He's a 55er. Font's massive.
Yeah. It's just a guy that keeps coming forward, throws a shit ton of volume.
Miles Johns, I've been in the room with it. I mean, he's this big. He's tiny. He's a little muscle hamster, but he's tiny.
Yeah. I mean, he was talking about an interview how if what's his name? Argetta. If Argetta can get him down like that, it's gonna be easy. But if Miles Johns wrestles, he is gonna be death gassed in round 3. I can almost assure you.
And Argetta's a machine. Or first of all, Argetta's wrestling is 1,000 times better than Miles Johns, and he can chain wrestle, and he has jiu-jitsu to boot, and doesn't get tired. I like Miles Johns crazy. I think Matsumoto is going to smash him here. For me, it's how does he win? Is it decision? Is it submission? I kind of think.
Would you be surprised if he gets a guillotine on him? Because
no, not
John
at all.
shoots like these shots, and he puts his head in there, and he almost got guillotined. I believe was it Felipe last fight or 2 fights ago? But there was someone that almost guillotined him, and this kid Matsumoto has a nasty guillotine.
He really does. He's one of the few guys that actually pulls the guillotine across, what you're supposed to do. Most other people arch up on it, which is why you have no leverage, no angles, and you gas your arms out. This kid is nasty. I mean, he's just going to run through this guy, I think.
Yeah, I like Matsumoto here quite a bit. I kind of feel like he has a good chance to finish. He hits. It seems like he hits decently hard, but
he puts some on it, but he's not sitting down with all his power on every punch because he's a death by a million cuts kind of guy, which could tire Miles out. I think Miles has leveled up enough though, where I think he will be able to stay on the feet with him. I do worry about the submission, but the other thing too is Miles Johns is so small. It's really hard to choke a small neck like that. He's good at rolling his head in and out. I think Matsumoto is going to batter him. It's going to be like the Chris Duncan Rumbeski fight from last week. Beat him within an inch of his life, but just makes it.
You might be right. I was looking at the under, to be honest. It was like plus 215, and I'm like,
well, that's a pretty.
This interests me. Under 2.5 plus 215. And if you watch Matsumoto's fights, they're firefight. Like he's hurting guys. He's got them on the brink. And
what was it 2 weeks ago? I was just talking about the Jap Brazilians. Here we go.
That's him.
Yeah. Sexy ass. All right, next one.
That might have been last episode.
My girl was so mad about that too. She goes, I have a Brazilian Japanese friend for you, bitch.
All right, next we have our boy, C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez at minus 240 versus Andre Touchy Fili. I still think it's one of the best nicknames in the game at plus 205.
All right, where do we go with this one? I don't think I'm going to talk about this one this week. Christian and I, we haven't talked in some time. It's been forever. I don't know if we'll talk again. Not on like bad terms, just different. We just grew up, kind of went different ways. But very interesting fight here against Andre Fili. It's funny, actually, Fili's last fight, me and him were in the group chat talking about how fucking stupid that fight looked, where he tapped out to Melky, and then right after that, he signed the Melky fight, and we're like, Christian, let's go. You're going to get it back for Fili. And then he loses the Melky fight. And my issue with the Melky fight is I thought he looked horrible in that fight. This is not the Christian that I know and I love. I was expecting Christian to come out and strike the whole time. He looked great in the 3rd round once he started beating his ass. But the first 2 rounds, he just held him on the cage the whole time and did almost nothing. Whereas Fili, now you go to a guy, Fili, he likes to fight. He slams, body kicks hard. He can wrestle well. Lots of history, lots of experience in the division, and pretty good cardio also. So now we have a guy who's a former 35er versus Fili, who's at Alpha Male 45. What do you think about this matchup? And I also want to say this too. Christian was born in Chicago. So before you answer this, act accordingly.
All right. Well, with that last bit of information.
Swapping your whole pick, huh?
No, but in all seriousness, though, like when you look at Christian Rodriguez, he's the type of guy I would love to bet as an underdog, right? Like he's just a guy that goes in there against these younger grapplers. He makes them work. He scrambles with them. And eventually he kind of wears them down, and he's winning round 3 at an extremely high clip against, I think, just about anybody. I think he's won round 3. If I looked correctly, I don't think he's lost a round 3 in his UFC career. He's won every single round 3. So he's a guy that,
which is funny because talking to him, he gets extremely tired too. He'll tell me every fight, dude, I could barely lift my arms. I was dead, but he always has a little more than everybody else.
Yeah. And that's the thing. He is a dog. He is a dog for sure. I mean, the guy pushes through whether he's tired or not. I mean, he's winning these round 3s. The issue again I have is like Christian Rodriguez is really not a minus 250 fighter. He's not a big finisher. He doesn't have a lot of power in his hands.
It's where's his offense come from?
Yeah, and it's like you mentioned last fight, he didn't strike a lot and he clinched. And the reason I think why he did that is the kicks were kind of like on the outside because Melky has really good kicks.
Everybody says Melky has good kicks, but the thing about Christian too, and Kama, you've sparred with Christian a lot too. He's got a very solid Muay Thai style. So I don't like in throwing the opposites. I think he checks a lot of those kicks and he sees them coming. A lot of times he likes to sweep those to fire back, but he would sweep and then just clinch and just try to trip. And I'm like, my issue with Christian is where is his offense coming from? Because his shots, a lot of the striking he does is just, little touch shots. He's finding his range. He doesn't offensively grapple for 15 minutes. Where's his path to victory other than just out surviving someone?
I mean, he's a guy that I guess he likes the pocket boxing, right? He's throwing a lot of combos.
He's nasty with it, though.
That's the one thing I love about him. He doesn't throw 1 or 2 punches. He's throwing 3, 4, 5 in the pocket. Like
he's good at finding his openings too.
So and he goes up and down. Like he goes to the body, he goes to the head, goes to the legs. So I like that about him. When I watch his tape, I just don't come away with a minus 250 fighter. And on the other hand, Fili looked awful with that tap, right? Like Team Alpha Male, from what I gather, like these guys don't really get guillotined. Like that's all they train at Team Alpha Male. Like none of those guys get guillotined, but it was such a weird sequence where he was in half guard and
it's not a real sequence. Like, I don't know.
What happened? He didn't try to fight hands at first. It felt
but he got out and then he went back into it was the issue.
It was so weird.
I don't want to say this all the time. I've been watching fights every day since I was like 13 years old, like film, fights, jiu-jitsu matches. I've been watching everything every day since I was 13 years old. And I don't want to say this about every fight. That fight seems so fishy to me from a technical aspect. Hitting a guillotine from a half guard with no angle, you're not up on your hip, off on the side. It doesn't happen, especially in high level fights in the UFC with adrenaline. That seems so fishy to me.
I mean, you would know a lot better than me.
I can't bet on Fili because of that. I can't bet on him because of that.
My thing for you would be like, why didn't he even try to roll over? Like he didn't try anything but tap.
Yeah.
And he's a legit grappler. Like he's not.
It's not real life. We've been talking a lot of conspiracy lately. Last week was with the Herzog pushing the over. This week was with Fili with the tap. I'm telling you guys, it's not real. That's not real life.
Yeah. So
it makes me wonder if he was sick.
It makes me wonder if someone had $1 million on Melky's first round submission at plus 1,300. That's kind of what I wonder.
Did you see him get up and how like he was like upset? Like it was just it was such a weird thing, like reaction too. Like he got up like nothing, but he was upset.
What is it called when the Japanese people kill themselves?
I don't know.
Like saying what is it called, senkaku or whatever? I would have just got up and just been like, all right, guys, you all have to witness this. If I tap like that.
Yeah.
The only thing worse than that is the Matt Schnell two-handed tap.
I will say that this is the biggest underdog he's ever been in the UFC, believe it or not. And he has probably 15 plus UFC fights.
Hey, Fili, if you're watching this, and we know that you are, please, Christian Rodriguez, round 1 submission. I got you.
Oh, boy.
All right.
There goes my bet.
All right, tell us what your action. Are you playing Fili?
I'm on Fili at plus 210. Yeah, I just feel like Christian Rodriguez to cover this price.
It's a numbers play, not so much. It's more kind of even, no?
Yeah, I kind of feel like C-Rod minus 150, minus 170 is fine. But C-Rod minus 250, I can't get behind it.
I never liked the size with Christian, and I'll test that, especially now that I'm losing weight. Me and Christian are the same height. If I can still make 125, Christian can make 135. I know he can. He's not disciplined with his diet, even though he runs 1,000,000 miles and he's a very hard worker, but he needs to tighten up. He's too small for that division.
It's probably outside the cardio, right? It's the kitchen stuff.
It's the kitchen stuff. And that's how I've been losing weight, because I always did all the rest of the stuff. It's the kitchen stuff that's important. Tacos and burritos, baby.
All right, moving on to the featured bout of the evening. We have Iasmin Lucindo at minus 200 versus Angela Hill at plus 170.
This is a tough one. I used to love Lucindo. I think I'm going to go Angie here. Like, it's probably not a fight I'm going to go crazy on. Angie's just got better fight IQ. And I don't know what you're thinking about Lucindo. She looks generally disinterested in her fights recently.
I don't like Lucindo at all. I've been fading her.
She looks generally disinterested. I've never seen something like this.
I'm not kidding. I faded her every fight.
I haven't. Not every fight.
Marina Rodriguez, well, the last two, I faded her.
Me too. Me too.
Marina Rodriguez, I thought won the fight.
I did too.
They gave it to Lucindo, and then I faded her again with Lemos, and
She beat her ass.
She landed 4 significant strikes the whole fight.
So this is what I'm saying. I've never seen a fight where you come out, look okay round 1, and then round 2 comes, and she's just like,
Can I get out of here?
is it time? Like, did I hit my quota? I've never seen some shit like that. Usually when you get a girl from the favelas, they will do anything to stay here. She was just like, yo, take me back, first plane. For that reason, like, I have to go Angie. They're on opposite trajectories, opposite sides of the career, age. Everything should say Lucindo by a country mile, but you can't really trust her to just be interested in the fights anymore. And Angie, overachiever by far, and she has skills. She can do everything right. I guess I worry if she ends up on her back, but I don't really think Lucindo's overly dangerous on top. I like Angie Hill. That's all I got.
Yeah, honestly, Angie Hill, the last 2 fights, man, she looks so slow and washed.
She
honestly does.
She
Like,
does.
I watched a fight before that, her last 2. She actually looked pretty good. Like, her movement, her speed was a little bit better. And, she's pushing almost 41. The cliff is coming at 115.
Black don't crack, especially for women. For women, though, they do have a much longer time.
But, I mean, if you watch a tape, you cannot go away thinking that she's the same fighter. She looks slower.
Can I
She
give you
really
a theory
does.
play? A theory play?
A theory play. Go ahead.
Okay. So this matchup, we have a Brazilian woman. Okay. We have a black woman. I don't want to say like stereotypes, but generally Brazilians are pretty good at jiu-jitsu. Agreed? It's where
Correct.
it came from. That's not reaching. That's not offensive, I don't think, for the most part. Now, jiu-jitsu wise, usually, black woman is not as good at jiu-jitsu. So Lucindo by submission might be a slam play this week.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
Deductive reasoning.
with that reasoning, yes, it's possible. But yeah, I mean, I think Lucindo wins just because of the youth. She's a little bit faster, but dude, like, her fight IQ is not good. She's very young, and yeah, I mean, she went for, within the first 15 seconds, she went for like a scissor sweep.
It just doesn't
on
make
the feet.
sense
Like,
to me.
What was she doing?
Yeah, you're battling age handicaps on both sides. One is just youth and stupidity, and the other one's old and washed. It's pick your poison on this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I will take Lucindo to win, but I can't bet this.
No
chick at
play.
200. Yeah,
Yeah.
no play.
All right, moving on to the co-main event of the evening. We have Steve Erceg at -550 versus Ode Osbourne at +400.
You want to lead this one off?
Yeah, if you want me to.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, Erceg is -500.
How do you feel about that?
Erceg is on a 3-fight losing streak.
And he keeps getting sparked, and then he's fighting a guy who's very dynamic, very fast hands, and just sparked a huge prospect.
I was surprised, honestly, against Gurule
'Cause
because
he was getting smashed the whole fight.
I thought it was a great spot for Gurule. He's a very good wrestler. He's strong. I figured he's just going to take Ode down and do his thing, right? Because Ode's weakness is, once he's on the mat, he's not very good. But like, is Erceg going to stand with him here? Or is he going to try to grapple? Like, if he tries to grapple, I do think he has success.
I think he wins clear and easy.
Correct. But
Yeah.
but what if he just stands and says, I'm a good striker too, and then gets put to sleep? Because Ode hits very hard.
I think Ode, if they stay standing, I think Ode is going to clean his clock. Because the thing about Erceg, he's a little taller for the division. He's about 5'7", which is about my height, but he's taller, skinnier. He moves really well. His whole thing is he touches and then he's out of range, touches and out of range. Now he's going against a guy whose arms are, they're like featherweight arms in the flyweight division, and he's fast and he's dynamic. Does he have great cardio? No. Does he have great grappling? Not so much. But on the feet, and even his initial takedown defense, he's got very good eyes. He sees when the takedowns are coming. It's when you re-wrestle him that he gets in trouble. And Erceg is good at re-wrestling, but he's also very fragile on the feet these days. Like, he gets hurt every fight, win or lose. Like, even against Costa, he got hurt pretty bad too.
Yeah, the only thing I will give Erceg, he's fought like 3 of the top guys.
Yeah.
And he fought competitively against Pantoja for sure. And then against Moreno, it was a decent fight. Obviously, he got sparked by KKF, but this is a guy that hits probably just as hard, man. And if he lands, like, Ronaldo Rodriguez fight honestly could have been stopped. Let's be honest.
Oh, I was there for that fight. I couldn't believe that they let that thing go on. If that was any time other than Noche UFC, that fight is done.
You got it.
100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, the guy is super dangerous early. If Erceg comes out grappling, from the get-go, I do think he probably covers the price, honestly.
Here's another wrench I want to throw into this too. So I was just talking about flying to Chicago. Okay. And I actually wanted to bring this up on the show. So this is just in general. And Santino talks about this a lot with overseas promotions. So Erceg's coming from Australia. What's the flight on that? It's like 26 hours or something like that.
I've actually been twice, so it's 22 hours total.
How did you feel as soon as you landed?
You feel like you don't want to do anything.
And how long does it take you to recover for that?
Probably at least 3 to 4 days.
At least.
And
then by the time that 3 to 4 days up, now you're cutting weight. Your body's already depleted again. You have to wake up, rehydrate, replenish, all that stuff. O'Day lives in Vegas. O'Day trains at Extreme and Syndicate. He's sleeping in his own bed for this fight. Steve Erceg's flying across the world, not country, across the world, off of 3 straight losses, getting his chin touched every fight, even the Costa fight where he won against that's just, I'm not saying he's going to lose. I'm just saying the price is a lot.
Yeah, I kind of think like if you're going to play O'Day, I don't know what his KO is. But
it's for me, KO 1-2 or don't touch it.
Yeah, because I don't think he wins a decision here. Like, what does a decision look like? Maybe he drops him.
I could see him winning a decision. If Erceg can't find grappling success and stays on the outside, I'm almost worried that Erceg's a little nervous of his chin and he's going to play it a little bit safe. And if he's getting touched, we could see an O'Day decision for sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, in that scenario, correct. Like if he decides not to grapple heavy or not having success with it. Yeah.
Low tempo outside, striking exchanges.
I mean, it seems like he's fall in love with his striking anyways, to be honest. Like on the regional scene, I watched a lot of his tape. He grappled a lot. Now all of a sudden he's
really good striker too. He's amazing.
Yeah, sure. But his chin is not holding up.
That's the issue. All right. So I will pick Erceg. I do think Erceg's going to win. I think he's going to end up grappling, and I think he's going to going to take it to O'Day eventually. But that O'Day 1-2 is interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Erceg sub most likely.
I love that play.
If it's a decent play, number, I think Erceg sub is probably good.
Love that play.
All right, guys. Before we move on to the main event, do you guys have anything you want to promote?
Yeah, tell us where to find you, socials, what you're doing on the side with your bet stuff. Let everybody know.
Yeah, it's Narco Cop on Twitter. It's Narco Cop MMA for my YouTube channel. I have a Friday show. It's called the Lambeau Place Podcast. Basically, all we do is focus on big plus money props for every fight of every UFC card. So, yeah, that's basically how the show runs. It's not one of those prediction shows, but we look for big plus money props, and we do quite well.
What'd you hit last week?
I think I hit like a plus 600, but
you're being bashful. What was the 10,000?
It wasn't a bad. Oh, that one. That one was a significant strike prop. Bet. Yeah, it was over 185 significant strikes in the Brenner fight, and then over 155 in the what fight was it? Not the Ribovics was Brenner. Who was the other war? Silva fight.
Okay,
Silva fight, and if you combine them, they were 80-1. So
unbelievable.
Yeah, it was 80-1, and it wasn't honestly, that wasn't my play. It was Art's play. He sent it to me. He asked me about it, and I'm like, dude, that's an incredible play.
He's the man. I love his stuff. Someday we need to get him on the show.
By the way, they stole his play. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter.
Who stole?
So there's this group called the Gold Boys. They stole his play and posted it as theirs.
Nice. I like that. Hey, it's not, whatever. He posted, it's fair game, is what it is. All good.
All right, so moving on to the main event of the evening, we have Roman Dolidze at plus 270 versus Anthony Hernandez at minus 330.
All right, now this one, I wanted to wait until we got on the podcast to talk about it, but we talked about it a little bit. I'll go first. I want you to end on this one just for the main YouTube. So watching this one, when I first saw this on paper, I'm like, Anthony is going to kill him. It's going to be an easy finish, 3-4-5 knockout, like no problem. But my issue is Roman is a really good counter grappler, and he's a very good jiu-jitsu guy. And so is Brendan Allen, and Fluffy went through hell, I think, for the first few rounds, trying to get him to settle into position, trying to get him to wear out. The thing with Allen is I think Allen gives up a lot of positions. His jiu-jitsu sometimes is amazing. Other times he just flops around like a fish, and I can't stand his jiu-jitsu because it's not solid. It never has been. Roman's jiu-jitsu is solid. When he gets you into leg entanglement, when he gets you into the top position, he is very, very good. I don't see the same way that Fluffy was able to get up from Brendan Allen. I don't see him being able to do that with Roman. Now, that being said, the price on him is expensive at the start. I think he's going to go through hell for maybe the first round, just with the big shots of Roman, that danger as he tries to figure him out, as he tries to see his wrestling and grappling entrances. As soon as we get out of the round 1, maybe round and a half, I think Fluffy is just going to destroy him. So I really do think that maybe Roman round 1-2 submission, I think is a really good play in case we get to a crazy, I can see him catching him in a guillotine, something like that, as Fluffy shoots a takedown, puts his head in. I think Roman 1-2 sub is great. After that, it's all Fluffy. Downhill coasting. I think he's going to finish him. In a 5-round fight, give me Fluffy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun main event, to be honest.
It really is.
2 good grapplers. Like you mentioned, Dolidze is, first of all, he's really strong. You can tell, like, there's strength there. The guy's a bigger dude. You don't want him on top of you. But
depends on who you ask. Cheyenne loved it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a different scenario. But, when you watch Fluffy last fight against Brandon Allen, like, he is rushing positions. It felt like he's going for that patented, guillotine or whatever you want to call it. But, like, he's falling off against good grapplers. Like, that's not going to be easy to pull off. And he's really good at it. But he did it against Fremd a couple of times. He fell off. I don't know if you remember that. But
yeah.
And if he falls off and Roman's on top of him, it's going to be very hard to get up.
His biggest thing that he does well, though, he does fuck up a lot. Positionally, he's not very sound. I had bet Brendan Allen decently in that last fight. I thought Allen was going to counter him and re-grapple him. He fucks up a lot, but he's really good at recovering on his mistakes. He'll just re-wrestle and then do it all over again. So you have to be perfect 6 times in a row. Fluffy just has to be perfect once.
Yeah, I mean, I love Fluffy. I've been betting him.
Amazing fighter.
Forever.
Yeah.
All these late round props he's been hitting. I was actually at the one where he finished in round 5 against Pereira. I was actually at the Apex. It was amazing because the ref just wouldn't stop the fight, and he was absolutely killing Pereira.
That was a brutal fight.
Yeah, and he wouldn't stop it. And I'm like, I'm not going to hit this bet because this ref just won't stop the fight. But then it happened in round 5 and we exploded there. But, like, I really think that, what you're saying is 100% accurate. Like, if this fight goes 3-4-5,
oof.
I call it what we call it? The spin cycle.
You're in the cycle.
He puts you through the spin cycle, man.
That guy is, every time I watch a Fluffy Hernandez fight, I just go, dude, what the fuck am I doing fighting how I'm fighting? I need to fight like this guy. Short shots. He watches. It's amazing what he does. He's like technically not good at all. He just goes, just basic 1-2 to the shot. And he does it every time and no one can seem to stop it. He doesn't throw with power. He's not super precise with his accuracy. He just 1-2, shoot, just touch you a little rabbit punches for 5 rounds. He's amazing.
Yeah. And it feels like you have to hurt him for him to wake up on the feet sometimes. Like, It's so weird. It happens in a lot of his fights, obviously to the body.
I was just going to say, what if Roman, because this is the other thing. Roman goes southpaw a lot. And when you are in opposite stances, your body kick touches the liver on an orthodox stance. Roman comes out just blasting body kicks.
He throws a lot of kicks in some fights.
He does.
But then he throws none in some. I looked at that because I'm like, man, if he turns southpaw and starts blasting his body kicks or teeps them a little, this guy's pretty soft to the body. You can't, it's an anomaly if it's happened once in 20 fights, but if it's happened 4 times, you start thinking this guy's body is a little bit weak.
Hey, Roman, if you're watching this, and I know that you are, I need you to have a performance a la like BSD versus Bonfim, where he just came out and threw like 9 body kicks in a row, broke his arm, and then was like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, early he's scary. And then even if he gets on his back, he goes for these heel hooks, the knee bars. Like,
I don't worry about that stuff because remember back in the day when he fought Trevin Giles and that idiot sat in a leg lock position as Trevin, Officer Giles, is just smashing his face. I remember losing that decision because he just sat there the whole time.
You're right, but he's used them to reverse against other people.
Sometimes. But I don't think he's going to do that against Fluffy.
He did that, if you remember, against Hernandez. He caught him. Well, it wasn't really a leg lock.
That was nasty.
That was nasty, dude. And then he turns him over. And there's nowhere for Hernandez to go.
I don't think I've ever seen a more brutal submission in my whole life.
And then he tore up Phil Hawes's knee. If you remember that, obviously Phil Hawes, it's another story. But, yeah, I mean, I think Pre, you probably are better off
With
betting
Roman.
because
Yeah.
he's kind of dangerous early. And then you could probably live bet if you're doing that
I like what you said. You said something a few weeks ago. I was listening to your voice channel, and you said if you saw free $100 on the ground, wouldn't you pick it up? I kind of would rather bet Fluffy at -500 when Roman is gassed than I would at 340 pre and just smash it.
Just watch the Imavov fight. And Imavov, it was mostly striking. There was some grappling, but he was absolutely dead in round 5. Imagine what he's going to look like in round 5 against a guy like Fluffy.
A guy that doesn't ever let you breathe and high volume. For me, it's Fluffy 345. Easily 345.
I agree with you. I think a guy like Roman, his striking is not very good either. That's the other thing. Yeah,
he went to the Miles John School of Striking.
I know people laugh at Fluffy's striking, but like I when you look at the technical aspect,
he's kind of good.
He might be better than Roman, honestly, technically. So, yeah, I mean, I think 345 Fluffy. I'm not getting off the train just yet.
One more, because then he's going to fight for the upper level, and then I think that's where we start to see some of the cracks.
I like Fluffy here because also Roman can get taken down. Like that's his takedown defense is not great,
and him off his back, he's going to have to work so hard to get back up.
Yeah,
I'm going max bet on Fluffy. Now that we keep talking, the more we're into this. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining in the main card. Head on over to the Patreon, and we're going to break down the prelim card, the game. We'll stick with it. Thanks so much, guys.